Okay, so we are continuing Likutey Moharan, Torah Samech Beis 62. We said that when Am Yisrael is eating the Kedusha with proper Emunah, then it causes the ultimate goal of creation to come true. That is Yichud Kusha B'Chul Shlemtei. We also said that by merely by eating, it already does that. So he says, this, however, is only when you eat properly. Means you're eating with emunah. That purifies the food. Rabbeinu says he goes into the realm of das. He should know what to answer. Because he says because there are, questions and enigmas and bafflements, some of which it is possible to understand in this world, some of which it is not possible to understand in this world. The ones that you are able to understand, which is the conduct of HaKadosh Baruch Hu within creation, it's a mitzvah gedolah for a person to put his mind, to sharpen his mind, so he can properly understand it. But the paradoxes and enigmas that have to do with Hashem himself, as it were, Hashem knows, Hashem remembers, who is remembering, who knows. I mean, we don't understand any of this. We can possibly understand this. And such paradoxes and such, kashas, a person should not rely on his seichel, but on his mind, on his intellect, but rest on emunah. Now Rabbeinu goes even further, and he says, even these enigmas, these questions, these bafflements that there is an answer to. In other words, it is possible for a human being to understand it. Sometimes the roots of the mind are closed. Are closed, locked up. And a person doesn't know what to answer himself. Then there's a touch of heresy that is being injected into the person. And he doesn't know what to answer. He remains in a question. And behind the question, there's a little bit of heresy lurking. And this kind of heresy, each person, commensurate with his bechina. In other words, a person can understand if he has a lot of it or just a little. What does it mean? Rabbi says as follows. A person needs to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu with both his urges. That the Yetzer Hara will be subservient to Yetzer Tov. As Chazal said, the pasuk V'ahavta Hashem Elokecha b'chol levavcha. You serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu with chol levavcha. Levavcha doesn't say libcha. It says levavcha, it's two hearts. Shnei tzarecha, Yetzer Tov, Yetzer Hara. Hainu sheyeh libo shalem im Hashem Elokav. That your heart will be complete and at peace with Hashem. There shouldn't be a strife between your Yetzer Tov and Yetzer Hara. That your heart will not dispute you, won't turn against you. Let the heart separated. They don't have two. You shouldn't have two powers in the heart. One that believes in Hashem, and one that doesn't believe in Hashem. But you should believe in a HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Is Baruch Hashem Belev Shalom, complete heart. we have to understand, what does it mean that a person should, his heart should be complete, and the two Yitzarim should be both at peace with one another. What does it mean? Obviously, it does not mean that your Yetzer Tov, Yetzer Hara come to a compromise. This time you call the shots, and this time I call the shots. That's not what it means. What it means is that you turn your Yetzer Hara and you make it subservient to Yetzer Tov. In Pashas Chayesara, I think it's Daf Kuf Amud Aleph, I think. Just saw it today. Sorry. It says that in the future, the Kadosh Baruch Hu is going to take the bad out of the Yetzer Hara and just leave the good in the Yetzer Hara. So they went to Tanaim, they were there, the Meroim that was there, is asking what good is in the Yetzer Hara. It says the Yetzer good in the Yetzer Hara, L'osid Lavo, you have to guess amazing, is without the Yetzer Hara, a person won't be able to progenate. That's the good in the Yetzer Hara. And if a person does it properly, then his children are holy, and so forth and so on. And the main thing is that a person should serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu with the Yetzer Hara. How do you serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu with the Yetzer Hara? Let's be realistic. How do you serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu with the Yetzer Hara? It's very simple. Let's say that a person has Yetzer Hara to steal. And he doesn't steal. In other words, a person overcomes the temptation of the Yetzer Hara. It's easy, nobody can see it, just take it, put it in your pocket, and you're done. He doesn't do it. He overcomes the Yetzer Hara. Without the Yetzer Hara, there's no choice. I mean, it's all the same. There's no advancement. There's no growth. Only when Yetzer Hara is tempting you and is telling you to do something which is forbidden, and you don't listen to it, you're serving Kadosh Baruch Hu with the Yetzer Hara. Yetzer Hara is there for you to overcome it. Rabbeinu is talking here about working yourself to such a degree that your Yetzer Hara, as Yetzer Hara, does not exist anymore. There are no urges in your heart to do anything other than what HaKadosh Baruch Hu says. No. Comes the question, so where's the choice? If there's no Yetzer Hara to counter me and to confront me, so how do I advance? The answer is that it's true that the Yetzer Hara that is in this world is not in your heart anymore. It's totally subservient to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But when you reach that madrega, then your Yetzer Hara is the shirish, the root, the origins of the Yetzer Hara in this world. And the origin of the Yetzer Hara is a holy angel. A holy angel whose role is to mislead you. Like the Yetzer Hara in Olam Hazeh. What does it mean? Holy angel whose job is to mislead you? Yes. How does he mislead you? To do something that Baruch Hu doesn't want you to do? No. The role of this angel, which is the Yetzer Hara of the Tzaddikim, is to make it so that they can't make up their mind what it is that the Kadosh Baruch Hu actually wants from them. This was with Moshe Rabbeinu. Kadosh Baruch Hu told him to hit the rock, the word will come out. Second time he told him to speak to the rock. And Moshe Rabbeinu figured out that he's supposed to hit the rock the second time as well. I mean, we don't understand, the quagmires of Moshe Rabbeinu. This is way, 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 way above, the salary level of any human being. But that's the pshat, that's the aura of the tzaddikim. Rabbeinu says, as long as the Yetzer Hara is in the heart, and it is active, and it is pushing you to do things which are against what the Kodesh Baruch Hu wants, you are not cognizant of Kodesh Baruch Hu to the full extent. The Yetzer Hara doesn't let you. It is only when it becomes subservient to Yetzer Tov, then the mitzvah of Kodesh Baruch Hu becomes obvious to you. This is what Rabbeinu says. Uve'emet, im haya yodea adon b'yidio b'lev sholem, if a person would know, in complete knowledge, in complete heart, Shem Elokatz kavoidoi, that the Kodesh Baruch Hu fills the earth, His kavod fills the earth. Kodesh Baruch Hu oimed b'shas atfilah. Kodesh Baruch Hu is standing there when you're davening, and He's listening to you. He's waiting for you. He's waiting there, and He listens. He shomei tefillah, and He listens to your tefillah. If a person would know that with a complete heart, what? Haya oimed b'shas atfilah, v'adai mispal b'slavus b'lo person would daven with unbelievable brand, unbelievable koyach, unbelievable force. And a person would be very particular, to say every word properly and to mean whatever he's saying, to connect his mind to his words, and not jump on anything, not say, okay, that part, okay, let's go. No, every single, if you know Kodesh Baruch Hu is there. It says, because a person does not know this. He knows, basically, but doesn't really know. The lev, it's not with a complete heart. The Yetzer Hara is still standing in the way. That's why a person doesn't get that excited. Davening, okay. And a person is not the particular. I said, all right. Just let go. Each person, according to how little his das is, how small his understanding is, this is how excited he gets, and how particular he is to pay attention to the way he prays. By idea, knowing that's the part of Yetzer Tov. The idea and the hiding of that knowledge, of the omnipresence of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that comes from the Yetzer Hara in your heart. The idea and the hiding of the knowledge of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that's the heresy. These are the confoundments and the quagmires and the whatever enigmas there's in a person's heart. The Yetzer Hara is hardening your heart in order to make you stumble. In other words, even if in your own heart you don't have any kashas in Kodesh Baruch Hu, still, the hiding of the omnipresence, of the knowing, the cognition of Hashem's omnipresence is in itself, a kind of apicorsis and a kind of kashas. That's the Yetzer Hara. Yetzer Hara is hardening your heart. And that can cause a person, because the person doesn't know, that can cause a person that bad things will happen to him. And when he doesn't know how to answer the kashas in his heart, that's the hiding of the idea. that he doesn't know Kadosh Baruch Hu with a full heart. And Rabbeinu says, okay, so how do you fix it? I mean, you work on it, you overcome it, but you don't fix it in its root. If you want to fix something, we'll learn it in a few terms. If you want to fix something at the very root, you have to, fix something completely. You have to fix it at the root. I mean, in the meantime, you can make so that the Yetzer Hara doesn't govern you. In other words, it doesn't make you, chas v'chalila, do bad things. This you can do. But to actually fix it and rectify it so it becomes totally, it's not there anymore. Become totally subservient. There's peace in your heart. Both the Yetzer Hara, Yetzer Tov, about both living in peace under the government of the Yetzer Tov. This, the Rebbe shall show you. In other words, how do you to fix the strife within your own heart, in the Yetzer Tov, Yetzer Hara, and to fix it in its roots? The main, a creation of the Yetzer Hara. Its sheretz, its root, from Bechlal Machlokes the Kedusha. The Kedusha between Tanoim and Amoraim, in the Gemara, the Mishnayos. And in the Gemara, a person says, as Rabbeinu says, that in order to do this, you have to learn Poskim. Now, when you learn Poskim, a person will say, listen, I don't have the mind to learn Gemara. I don't have the mind to learn Mishnayos. I would just learn, what the Psak Halacha is. So I know what to do. Wonderful. But that will not fix the machlokes in your own heart. To do this, you have to dive in to the machlokes of Kedusha between the Tanoim and the Amoraim, and understand it as much as you can. Because it is the machlokes between the Tanoim and the Amoraim that there is the seichel, the kedusha. It's in this machlokes. I mean, let's say b'sham and b'sila. Okay. Oh, aloha kebesila. Chazal said in the future, the aloha is going to be like b'shaman. So just a second. So who's right? If you're saying that now is aloha kebesila, then Hillel must be right, and Shammai, quote unquote, must be wrong. But if in the future Allah is going to be Shammai, wait. In the future, that means, and the land will be filled, the knowledge of Hashem, like the waters covering the sea. In other words, our intellect will totally open up. Allah is going to be like Beth Shammai, which means that Beth Shammai is right, and the Hillel is, quote unquote, wrong-ish. What goes on? The answer is Beth Hillel is right. Shammai is right. 100%. But they contradict one another. They are both sechel de kedusha that comes from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And when you learn it, and when you polish your mind, to be able to understand what is the root of the dispute between the Tanaim and between the Amoraim, that fixes the root of the Yetzer Hara. So when you keep on overcoming Yetzer Hara as it comes along, but when you learn Torah, you learn Poskim, Dafka, you learn what are the different opinions. And you learn what the halacha is. You're fixing the machlokes in its roots. Because the psak halacha is the thing that makes peace between the two opinions. One Tana, one Amara says this, and one Tana Amara says that. And psak halacha is making peace between them. Bezat Hashem, we will continue this holy limud, Mitzvah Hashem, tomorrow night, in the Besmedrash, Mitzvah Hashem, at 8 something, 8:15 or something like this. And Bezat Hashem, we will go again over this material so that it will sink in, as it were. And Bezat Hashem, we will see each other again, as I said, tomorrow, Bezat Hashem, and we're getting ready, Bezat Hashem. This is the last week. I mean, this week and next week, is the last 2 weeks before Shavuos. This week is Yesod. So the Yesod is actually the Yesod and the Malchus are already the end, or they're both already the end. So it's exciting. Get close to Shavuos. That Hashem will be able to come to Shavuos with the full Emunah Shlema, especially Emunah Shlema, B'Dish Baruch Hu, in the Torah, Emunah Tzadikim, B'Shlemus Godel, Hashem, and we see Geula Shlema, B'Yeherom, Ameinu, Amen, Bezat Hashem.